Welcome to this episode of Katy on the Farm. We're here in Richland, Georgia at Richland Distillery, where they're making rum from the sugarcane we're all familiar with being turned into cane syrup. And that rum is being sent out from Georgia to the rest of the world. Come along as we learn about their processes.
At Douglas Metal and Steel Manufacturing, we only use top quality steel and roofing. And with our on-staff custom designer, we can customize your building to best suit your needs. From large commercial, agriculture, or just a place to store your stuff. And it comes with a written 40-year warranty that we'll put in your hand. It's not just quality we stand behind, but we stand on. Call today for a free quote. Douglas Metal and Steel Manufacturing. We are steel number one.
This week on Katy on the Farm, we're in Richland, Georgia with Karen and Eric Vonk, owners of the renowned Richland Rum.
Okay, so this is the very beginning here. This is the sugarcane. Tell me about this.
This is what is referred to as Georgia Red.
Okay.
This is the sugarcane that we finally settled on to make our rum. We started with experimenting with 17 varieties 20 years ago, and slowly cutting down to really what grows best in Georgia, which is Georgia Red.
Absolutely. So you said this is a tropical grass.
Sugarcane is a tropical grass, and although today is a little chilly, we are here in southwest Georgia, and this is as far as sugarcane will grow. And, but we have to make sure we harvest before the winter sets in.
Yes, absolutely. I took my kids to a cane boil once, and they would take this part of the stalk and they would take a machete and take the outside off and chew on the chunks, and it was like candy.
Yes.
It was so remarkable. They love that experience. We see it every once in a while at markets where people have cut sections of it, but I think it's interesting that it's a grass, and we know as horse people, right, we know that there's sugars in the grass, and that's all part of that conversion process that happens in all plants, but here we get this concentrated product that we get to enjoy.
Exactly, very well said. Yes, and so what happens with sugarcane being a grass, when you cut it or mow it, it will regrow.
Right.
Just like your
So
lawn.
this is perennial crop.
It is. It's a perennial crop. Yes.
Oh, that's fantastic. We love our perennials. They're great for the environment and the soil.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Karen, we're in this big, pristine room. It feels like a science experiment. Can you tell me, how does the process start and what's happening here?
All right, Katie. Well, we are in the fermentation room. This is the first step of making rum after the cutting of the sugarcane. We harvest once a year. The sugarcane is pressed, and we collect the juice, which is traditionally turned into sugarcane syrup, and we found the appropriate name for it. That's almost rum. So you see 4 fermentation tanks here. We use open fermentation. The sugarcane syrup is put in those tanks. We add yeast and let the yeast convert the sugarcane syrup into alcohol. All the sugar molecules are converted to alcohol molecules by the yeast. It typically takes about 6 or 7 days. And then the yeast has nothing to eat because all the sugars have been converted. And then the yeast goes to sleep, and we have what you could refer to as a sugarcane wine with almost 15% alcohol in the tanks.
I see. And this process produces heat. The part that has liquid is warmer than the part exposed just to air. I also can hear the bubbling. We've seen the bubbling in the tanks. That's a gas being released?
It is, yes, there's gas being released because what the yeast does, it eats sugar and it excretes alcohol.
Okay.
And the heat is created by the yeast that creates the energy to eat the sugar.
Literally comes out as heat energy.
Yes, there's no induced heat, it's just a natural process. But the yeast is running its marathon and this, is getting really hot in that liquid.
Yeah, and I can smell it. It really smells neat. Every step of this process has its own kind of characteristic smell, I notice.
Really, our rum making process is very traditional and authentic, and it would be more of an art than a science. The only thing is that we are here in 120-year-old renovated buildings. We want to make absolutely sure that they are 100% clean, because there's gaps here and there, and we definitely want the rum for ourselves and not for the ants.
Well, it's really beautiful. What's the next step in the process?
So once when the fermentation process is complete, we move to the next room for the distillation process.
Can we see?
Absolutely. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Katy Rogers. I hope you'll be right back after this message to join me. This is really beautiful and really intriguing, and again, smells amazing. I can't get over how this place smells. Can you tell us what's happening at this stage of the process?
Wouldn't it be wonderful if we could convey the smell to your viewers?
I'd say bottle it, but we're bottling here, right?
we will bottle, yes, in 4 years.
In 4 years.
So we are here in the distillation room. After the fermentation is complete, the fermented wash goes into handmade copper pot stills of 250 gallons each.
These big domes.
Yeah. They are handmade for us in Portugal. They are fire heated, and every day we make rum. We distill rum. The idea of distillation is you separate alcohol from all the other things that come with the mash. And what you see here is that we are collecting the rum directly into our barrels.
Now, comes from the next room, goes in. Do you blend it for consistency?
No. We are a single estate, meaning field to glass, homegrown sugarcane, as well as single barrel. We fill each barrel individually, then age the barrel for around 4 years, and then when it's time to bottle, we bottle the barrel by its own. So we never blend. We do not have age statements on our rum, on our bottles, because we let the barrel decide when the rum inside is ready. Forbes magazine named us Best American Rum this year, and we couldn't be more proud of it. But it's really it's an art. We learn every day, and every day is different.
Wow, that's really neat. 20 years later, right here in Richland, Georgia, we have the Best American Rum.
That's right.
Now, Karen, this is fascinating to me, the aesthetic here, the visual, but I'd like to understand what's happening. What is this?
So this is where we monitor the process, on a minute-by-minute basis. This is where the rum is decided. You can smell the rum. You can actually, there are different types of alcohol have different types of color. Even it looks all the same, but after 20 years, you do see some color difference. And then we measure the alcohol proof with this little hydrometer. The daily distillation run takes about 15 hours every day, and different types of alcohol come off the pot still, and we only collect the hearts, the middle section of a daily run, which is the best quality, and you can see here that the hearts of a daily run go directly into the barrel.
Directly
for
into
aging,
the barrel.
yes.
Yeah, and again, the scent has changed. And I have this urge to say I can smell alcohol, but you're not supposed to be able to smell alcohol, are you?
For sure. We do not make a clean ethanol, a flavorless, odorless product. That's for other manufacturing companies to do, but we are really creating a very organic and natural and very aromatic
it is
rum.
aromatic.
You can, although this is about 60% alcohol, you're welcome to taste it. It's as smooth as candy. It is really, just do it.
Yeah, it has character. It has character. Yeah. Wow, that's remarkable. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Hi, I'm Katy Rogers. I hope you'll be right back after this message to join me. This is such a neat space. I love this. It's picturesque. It goes on forever. It almost has a feel of a cave. Tell me what's happening in the barrels.
So we're here in the Richland Rum barrel house, where approximately 700 barrels are aging. We use new barrels only. They are always American white oak barrels. And our rum is aging here for at least 4 years. You can tell by the numbers here. The Roman numerals will tell you when this barrel was filled with rum. So this is 6/16. So this is June 2016 when this barrel was put here full of rum. We are a single barrel rum. We never blend. When it's time for bottling, we pick one barrel that's bottled. A barrel generates about 280 bottles. The bottles do not have an age statement. We let the barrel decide when the rum is ready. So your rum could be sometimes 3.5 years old, but it could also be 4.5 years old. And each bottle has a tag, and it will tell you exactly this information. And with this tag, you can go online and find the pedigree tracer on our website, and that's where you will learn how old your rum is, some tasting notes of this particular rum, because every barrel will come out differently. Mm-hmm. There are slight differences. It's a handcrafted product. It's an agricultural product. Each barrel is different.
That's really neat that they each have their own character. And I did notice, I hope you'll show me later, the differences in the color. But in that regard, how is this different from kind of the mass-produced rums that we see on the shelves?
Most rum, 97% of rums produced in the world are mass-produced. They are almost oil refineries. They are flavored ethanol and even sometimes aged with a chemical procedure. And we are on the complete opposite of this. We grow our sugarcane specifically to make rum. So it's Georgia sugarcane and Georgia spring water. That is all there's in the bottle. There's no additives, no preservatives. It's no mouthfeel changers, no glycerin. It is a pure, a clean, a very, very nice sipping rum.
Sipping rum. I like that phrase, sipping rum. I usually hear that associated with bourbons, right?
That's right. We have a running joke here in the distillery when people walk in the door asking for a tour and a tasting, and they say, "Oh, we love rum," and it's like, well, you're maybe not in the right place. When people come in and they say, "I'm not a fan of rum," then it's like, well, you are in for a treat, because if you our sipping rum behaves more like a bourbon or a cognac. It's just delicious on its own. You drink it neat, maybe complex, smooth, and clean. You really the aromas are just outstanding. You really think you're in the sugarcane fields when you're enjoying our rum.
No, it sounds like it would be a lovely gift. I love that it's single source, farm to bottle, Georgia.
We are trademarked the spirit of Georgia.
Oh, that's great!
And so it's great for the spirit at holidays as a gift, as you said. But it brings this entire experience because it is a true Georgia spirit.
Mm-hmm. It's a great way to get close to Georgia and close to our soil, is to consume things that came all the way through their process right here.
That's right. That's so we're a true field to glass. The only thing that we source is the barrels. A cooperage firm in Kentucky makes the barrels for us from Wisconsin oak. And for the rest, everything is Georgia grown.
Georgia grown. Can I ask, you said they're all new barrels. What's the significance of that? What's the difference between a new barrel and, I guess, an old barrel?
Also, the majority of spirit makers use used barrels.
Okay.
Which means that they have been used by other distilleries or winemakers, and so they will add some flavor to the alcohol that is put in the barrel. And we have learned, as this has been an experiment of 20 years, we have learned that we don't want to alter our beautiful sugarcane, flowery agriculture product. Mm-hmm. We just want to age the rum, which makes the rum darker, and it adds some oakiness to the sugarcane spirit. And with used barrels, you do not really know what you're getting. And plus, wood is a living organism. If you use a used barrel, you have to let your rum age for a much longer period of time than when you have a fresh new barrel. So people sometimes wonder, that is pretty young for an aged product, 4 years, but that's because we use new barrels only. So the aging process goes really, really quickly, in contrast to when you use a used barrel. The liquid has to maybe sit in there for 12 years to get the same result.
Oh, wow. Wow, I didn't realize there was such a significant difference. But it would make sense that you wouldn't want the previous use kind of imposed on yours and have it infused into the liquid. So that's fascinating. Could we go taste?
For sure. Let's go to the tasting room next.
Hi, I'm Katy Rogers. I hope you'll be right back after this message to join me. So Karen, we're in the tasting room, and I'm intrigued by the apparent differences in all these products. So could you describe a little bit, kind of tell us what makes the pale and the dark and why there are all these different labels?
Absolutely, Katie. So we've been perfecting this rum for 20 years now. And this is our classic rum. I've been explaining about aging in the barrel house. This rum was named by Ford magazine as Best American Rum last year, so we're very proud of that. And which in the last year we have allowed ourselves to experiment with a little bit different expressions, but it's all one rum.
Okay.
We do not add flavors or we do not make spice rum. It's all one rum, and the difference is aging. That is all. The first one, the white rum, or also named virgin rum, is unaged rum.
Oh.
So the difference in color is by the barrel.
Okay.
This has been in a barrel only for 30 days.
Oh wow!
And this has been in the barrel for 4 years.
For 4 years.
Now the others here, these we bottle rum at 43% alcohol, which is the standard. But then each barrel is different, and each barrel comes out at different alcohol levels. Mm-hmm. And so we also offer this same rum at barrel strength, which is usually around 59% alcohol versus 43% alcohol.
Okay.
And you can, and even here you can see a difference, that this one is slightly darker than the 43% alcohol. Mm-hmm. And then we have these two with the red and the green label, and those are very cool Georgia collaborations with the first one with Terrapin Craft Beer from Athens, Georgia. And this red one is a collaboration with Chateau Elan, the winery north of Atlanta. This rum has a slightly hoppy note to it, which is very interesting with the sweetness and the smoothness of the rum. And there's some hoppy notes, some beer notes to it. And this, the barrel was soaked with port wine when it came back to us, and when we returned the rum back in there, and it has a very berry, smooth, sweetened note to it. So in the end, these are 5 rums. They're all the same, but they do have,
they have a different experience.
For sure. Yes, totally.
That's really fascinating. And it says on the bottles, what is on the very bottom label? That's the date, how long it's been aged?
Yes, so as I mentioned before, these are single barrel products. So it says single estate, single barrel. And now this is the pedigree tracer that I mentioned.
That you told us about.
So it will tell you who was the distiller, which is always the same person. Then it will tell you how much alcohol percentage in there, and then here's the important information: cask number. So this particular bottle comes from barrel number 309, and it's bottle 49 out of usually 250 or 60. So now you visit richlandrum.com, find the pedigree tracer, and then you can look up how old the rum is in this bottle, and you can get some tasting notes and also learn about when it was harvested, when it was fermented, and things like that. So it's every bottle is different and is very special and particular on its own.
I love a good origin story.
Well, there you have it.
All right, now, if I were to smell these, would I notice the differences?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Shall we do it?
Oh, let's. Absolutely. Yes, I would love to. I would love to experience this.
So let's start with virgin rum.
Okay. Okay. All right. That reminds me of what we smelled coming out of the copper, right? It's got a little bit of that kind of.
So it doesn't have the oaky notes, and the aging will tone it down a little bit. This is really suitable for a cocktail.
Okay.
Some people will enjoy it with an ice cube. But this is really at the request of bartenders and mixologists that wanted Richland rum to make beautiful cocktails with. But we really would like to be known as a sipping rum.
Sipping rum, okay.
Mentioned before. Now, these two are the same, except this one is bottled at 43% alcohol, and this one is bottled at what we refer to as cask strength, and that will be different every cask. This one holds 55% alcohol.
Okay.
So it's undiluted.
Okay.
Now, this was named.
That's really nice.
That's really smooth. Can you imagine yourself sitting in front of a fireplace and sipping on this beautiful rum?
I can see that giving bourbon a run for its money.
There you go. Yeah. Absolutely. Again, this was Forbes magazine's best American rum.
I believe that.
Couldn't be more proud of that.
That's lovely.
And then here we have the Terrapin Cask Exchange. So for 16 months, this barrel held a double IPA.
You can smell that. You can actually get a little, like on the backside, you get beer.
Yeah. It's interesting, huh?
That is. I've never
and how different
that before.
And how different is it from this one? Now and then, this barrel
That's what I'm excited about. Port and chocolate's the perfect dessert.
And cigars.
Wow, and it has the kind of raisiny plum that you get from a port, and aged. That's really neat.
It's beautiful.
I'm intrigued.
This is the beauty of using new barrels because they are fresh and they hold the liquid in the wet wood, and so they can give this back to the liquid inside, and it's a perpetual program. So now this rum has been bottled, and then that empty barrel goes back to Chateau Elan, and now they are aging another round of port wine in it, and then it will come back in 6 months.
That's a neat concept. I'm glad that you guys decided to do that. That really gives such a broad spectrum.
It's exciting, and it's one rum, and there's no tricks. There's no. It's all natural process.
Unadulterated. Yeah. Even the label on the one even says unfiltered.
Unfiltered, unaltered. Yes, absolutely.
Karen, thank you so much for having us out today. We have really enjoyed the tour, and I had no idea that someone was producing farm-to-bottle, single source here in Georgia. So we really appreciate it, and we hope Richland Rum continues to just grow and be such an asset to this community.
Well, thank you so much for coming out here, Katy. And as we mentioned, you can find more information on our website, richlandrum.com. There's an online store there where you can have rum shipped to your home. And we are available in 15 US states and in 10 countries. So I'm sure there's a liquor store near you that will have Richland Rum for you.
Perfect. richlandrum.com.